Airbus pilots don't feel a rumble when they land. They feel something else entirely. Something that's been impossible to recreate in our home cockpits until now. This is Moza AB9, a force feedback base designed to deliver that kind of subtle, genuine feel. And that's not even the most impressive part. While there are a handful of expensive, dedicated Airbus sticks on the market, this is different. It's a versatile foundation for your entire virtual cockpit, adapting seamlessly to a heavy airliner, a light helicopter, or a high-performance fighter jet. It's not a single-purpose tool, it's the missing piece for a complete flight sim setup. Now let's take a look at what you get. Unboxing the AB9 base was a solid first impression. It comes packed with a premium box with a styrofoam protection. Inside you'll find a user manual, a small box with a 36-volt power supply, power cable, and USB cable, and the base itself, sealed in a sleek black bag. At the back of the base, you'll find a USB port, 4 device inputs, a power button, and a DC input power connector. Moza also sent me 2 grips to try with it. This is the MA3X Sidestick. It's FO side only and it looks sharp, resembling an Airbus Sidestick with just few design tweaks. And finally, the MH16 Flight Stick. It looks like a modern F-16 grip, and while it's lighter than Thrustmaster Warthog, it still feels high quality in the hand. I'd like to say a huge thanks to Moza for sending me this base and sticks to try. This review is long overdue. I've spent weeks putting it through real flying, across different aircraft, multiple sims, and plenty of live streams, because I wanted to offer more than just a first impression. And honestly, it did not disappoint. The Moza AB9 is a dual-servo motor force feedback base made from aviation-grade aluminum alloy, finished with automotive-grade paint, and weighing just over 3.5 kilograms. It delivers a 9 Nm of continuous torque and up to 12 Nm peak, enough to simulate turbulence, flare resistance, ground roll, or even subtle yaw drift during taxi. What stood out immediately was how silent this base is. There's absolutely no sound coming from it. No fans, no buzzing, no motor noise. It just moves, smoothly and quietly. The sealed fanless design also helps with dust protection and thermal stability. This thing is built to run hard and last long. The AB9 doesn't have one feel. It has many. When I fly Bell 407 in VR, it's light and reactive. Small trims, slight corrections. It talks to you with tension, not noise. In DCS, with the same base but MH16 stick, it feels sharper, more aggressive, it resists when you over-control. Then in A320, the MA3X Sidestick, it softens. Minimal movement, calm, fly-by-wire responsiveness. All of this happens without changing the hardware. The base simply adapts. One movement really stuck with me. I was flying the Phoenix A320 using the provided preset, and what I felt through the stick genuinely surprised me. The Sidestick felt weighted, stable, and reactive, just like the real Airbus control. But what Moza delivered here was subtle, smart, and immersive. As I rotated and brought the gear up, I felt this gentle rumble travel through the stick. It wasn't exaggerated, it was just enough to make the moment feel real. That little jolt of feedback when the gear came up, it reminded me that this isn't just a sim. It's a moment that felt real. The Moza cockpit control software is clean and surprisingly deep. Firmware updates are simple using their firmware manager. You can even select the specific version if you want. It's important to set up each sim correctly. In MSFS, check your injection paths. In DCS, load the Lua script. Once it's set up properly, it just works. You can go way further than presets. In basic mode, you can calibrate axes, adjust spring feel, friction, and torque output. In expert mode, you can tune centering physics and enable MCLS, which is Moza's dynamic feedback model. The telemetry tab lets you layer in propeller rumble, afterburner feedback, and helicopter shake. This isn't just settings, it's about tuning the way your stick behaves, so each aircraft responds exactly the way you would expect. Some of you probably noticed a non-Moza Sidestick that I've been flying with. That's a CN Tech full metal Airbus replica I'm testing with AB9. A dedicated review of it is coming soon. And what matters here is this: the AB9 supports third-party grips, including Thrustmaster Warthog compatible mounts, because it uses the classic PS2 connector. That means when you're flying with Moza grips or something custom, you're not locked in. And honestly, that was a smart move from Moza. Most of us fly sims to get closer to something real. The Moza AB9 doesn't flash. It doesn't buzz to prove it's alive. It listens, it reacts, it earns your trust, and in return, it becomes part of your aircraft. I'll be using it in all my upcoming live streams. So if you want to see me fly it or ask me questions in real time, come join the live streams. And as always, fly smart, fly safe, and keep chasing the horizons.